Okay.
Hi.
How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are doing great, having a blessed night. We are going to bless you tonight. I am super excited. If you're not muted, I would greatly appreciate you to mute. But we are totally, I'm super blessed that number one, Amber and I were chatting and she just volunteered to do this awesome Zoom with us. And I love the attendance and the participation because you know what? Better together, right? And hi, Shelby, welcome. Hi, Joy. So we are
Hi.
super excited to be here tonight. My name is Shelly Hyde. I'm an Ambassador Diamond, and I am thrilled to have Amber here with us. And Amber, I am like, number one, you have inspired me since day one. You are a go-getter. You are a person that there's just not anything that stops you. And even though as leaders, we come to those points in our life, and there's not that you don't have a bad day or not, but you just focus. And I loved our talk the other day is you got me, I'm going to get emotional because you got me dreaming again. So it was super exciting because we had this nice little talk and she's like, Shelly, you can't move forward if you're not dreaming. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel so blessed in my life already of everything that we're able to do and what we have and the family and the team that we have. But I really wasn't. And I'm telling you, you got me dreaming again, girl. And I was just I got off the phone and I had goosebumps about you just taking this move in your life. And I'm sure you're going to share a little bit about your story, but just taking this move and going, I'm doing this. I am going to travel the world. And so, Amber, thank you so much for being here with us. And I'm going to turn it over to you, girl. Rock it out, inspire the heck out of us, and just share your tips and tricks because I love hearing about no mom guilt, no grandma guilt, and just staying focused for a period of time and on a certain task. I loved all that. And I'm like sucking it all in. So I'm going to grab my notepad and I am going to pass it over to you, beautiful.
I love it, you guys. So first of all, I want to say thanks for jumping on. I know that it's month's end. I know that we all have so many promotions and things that we're pushing for. And I just wanted to say hi to some familiar faces. Shelby, it's so good to see you. You look great, Mama. I see some other people. Judith, it's so good to see you. Oh, I miss you guys. I could cry just because I miss events and I miss people. And that's Debbie. Hello. Ashley, good morning or good night. You guys, I don't even know what day of the week it is. This is true story, and I'm sweating. I'm so nervous. I was cold earlier, and now I'm literally sweating. But I just wanted to say thank you guys again. And something that I do ask, if you can, if at all, if you guys could turn your cameras on. I love to connect with you, and I just feel like sometimes, we all get it, like we're all crazy busy, but you know what, let's show up and let's be here. For those of you that don't know, my name is Amber Parker and I am Ambassador Diamond, and I've been in the company 8 years next month actually. And so it's crazy to think, thanks babe, it's crazy for me to think, you guys, my son is only 9 and his whole life he's just known both mom and dad home. And I know too that won't continue unless I continue to grow and I continue to dream and I continue on the path that I know I was called for. And if you guys could just drop how long you've been in the business, just so I can get an idea of who we're talking to tonight. I want this to be about you guys. But what I was sharing with Shelly the other day was how, I've always felt like the black sheep of my family, oh my gosh, I just feel so much energy from you guys. This is crazy. I'm going to get it together. So I've always felt like the underdog. I've always felt like I couldn't be who I was supposed to be because of a person or a place or a thing. And now I feel so grateful that I just feel like kind of, at least for me in 2020, I made a promise that I said, unless God told me to, I'm not doing it. And that's with business, that's with fun, that's with financial, that's with my family, that's with my freedom, that's with anything that I'm called to. And so that was huge for me to kind of say, you know what, I don't need to accept what anyone else is doing. I need to focus on where I'm supposed to be and where I'm called to live out my purpose and my vision for where I'm going long term, but also the legacy that I'm leaving. And if you've been in the business a while, you know too, there's what we call this burnout. And it happens by a buildup of small little things on top of each other, and or the lack of, meaning, you know, we're not doing what's required day in and day out. And then we feel a burnout or a buildup of frustration, which will cause us to burn out. And then we just want to throw in the towel. We truly do. I have those days. I'm not perfect. I have plenty of days where I'm like, I don't know why I'm here. I think going back to the salon would be so much easier. I think that if I didn't dream so big, then life would be so much more simpler. And that's simply not the case, you guys. Once you expand your mind into a capacity that is growing, it's truly, almost truly impossible for it to go back. But it will be tried. You will be tempted to go back and shrink down and say, it's okay. I don't need those things. Those aren't, you know, I don't need to work so hard. I don't need the big paycheck. You're absolutely right. But is it exciting and is it fun? Yeah. And is it definitely available? You bet. And so this year, I'm just going to be super transparent. Forget about it. We're just cutting the crap, you guys. Like, this is me and you as friends. So for about 2 years of building my business, I was drained. I was exhausted. I felt like I didn't have a part. I felt like there was people that were far greater than me leading my team and someone else's teams and all the other things, but then they depended on me. But then I was like, who am I and what am I doing? And why am I comparing my journey to somebody else's? And so, you know, I've seen the ups and I've seen the lows. I've seen the good and I've seen the bad and I've seen the ugly, and I've seen it all because of what I've done. And this isn't to blame anyone else. This is me being accountable for my business. And I was expecting what I had done once to fully last forever. And so, as 2019 ended, and the trauma that I had been through in 2018 from a car accident that literally changed my life. Like, I'm so thankful today for that car accident, because it reminded me of what's important and that we only have one life, and you literally can't save anything for the next life because it won't happen. Okay. And that we only get right now. So in the end of 2019, I was starting to just battle and wrestle and say, what's next? How do I keep this fire going? If I'm truly going to do this business the rest of my life, how do I keep growing that vision and expanding and without being burnt out? That's the key. I didn't want to be burnt out again. I know that we have seasons where we're running and we're losing sleep and we don't get to spend time, and we just have to communicate with our family like, hey, I'll see you in 30 days. I get that. But if we can learn how to build this business day by day, not in a day, we won't have to wait for that day to come when we feel so lost. We'll be able to have that exciting enrollments. We'll be able to do those things, you know, more consistently. And so I was sick from October to about right during conference. I even look back at my pictures. I'm like, I was so sick at conference. And it was just detoxing of just, what do I want? Where do we want to go? And what about the company? And where's the company's vision? And so as I left conference, I knew that we were going to go on a run. I knew that this year was going to be the biggest year It Works has ever had and seen. And I wanted to be a part of that. And so I had been praying all week of conference, running on 2 hours of sleep almost every single night. And I owe this all to Skinny Brew. I drank a freaking cup after an hour and a half sleep, and I got on a plane, and normally I sleep. I mean, like, I get the pillows, I get the blankets on the airplane, and I tuck my feet under Josh, and I crashed out. I couldn't fall asleep. And I was like, this is not right. I want to go to bed. I'm exhausted. Conference is over. Like, let's go. And God had just placed this vision in my head that says simple systems, Amber. We need simplicity. We need simple systems, and we need something that's duplicatable throughout the entire company, not team-based, not specific, contest-based. We need something that's just going to really revamp everyone's business and find the accountability within themselves. And so I busted out my iPad and I wrote down these different tasks. What did I do when I started? What do I still do today that is minimum that I can add on? And that's where I came up with KPI checklist. And these are key performance indicators that you are moving your business, growing it, or you're not moving your business and it's not producing the results that you want, because there's truly not a right or wrong way to build your business. There's not. You can build it in person. You can build it on social media. You can build it on both. You can build it on Instagram only, TikTok. I don't care how you build it as long as you build it. And I don't care how you're doing it as long as you're having fun doing it. So I created this list of 9 things that I do, and there wasn't a number. I just started writing down, what do I want? What do I do consistently that I can do quickly? Okay. 30 to 60 minutes or less. That way on my worst day, I'm still done. That way when I'm sick, I'm still done. That way when my kids are losing their minds and home now from, school and summer and all those things, that we can consistently build our business. And so I'd be happy to introduce you guys to what I call as KPIs. And the list is great. The testimonies are what I truly am like, wow, this was a total God thing. I will not take credit for you guys. God literally placed this on my heart, and I'm just sharing it because it's not mine. It's his and it's yours. And so this is a tool that I have, before I could obviously present it to the field, I wanted to make sure that it was working, that it wasn't just an idea, and that it actually created and produced results. Again, no wrong way to build a business. There's either working or not working. There's either producing or not producing. And so I want you to take a check at yourself right now and say, where's my business? Is it working, meaning I'm producing results and I'm excited and I'm happy and I'm having what I like and what I love? Or am I not producing the results that I want? And so let me see if I can screen share, Shelly, and I'll introduce this with you guys. Let me see. Maybe. There we go. Can you guys see that okay? Okay. So this is found in your eSuite document, and I will share with you guys a little bit about this. So one thing that I wanted was, as a leader, I felt like everything rose and fell on me. That if I wasn't in the chats all day long, my team wasn't going to produce. And please, can I get an amen if this is you, or if you have felt this in some way, shape, or form, okay? I also felt like if I could never go on vacation with my family and be loud about it, because my whole team would stop, or they would go on vacation, even if they weren't on vacation. I always felt like I had to be the first and the last. And yes, good leaders eat last. That's true. But I don't want to be the only leader on my team. I want to rise up leaders. We want a CEO of a business, not employees of businesses. And I felt like I was breeding employees. They depended on me for everything. I was trying to coach them, but I could only see their profile. I didn't see what they could do behind the scenes. And so how do I take somebody who's brand new, train them in a CEO mindset, give them a 30, 60-minute task list, and say, you either did it or you didn't do it? Another reason why I came up with this is because I felt, and feedback that I got from Power Hours was that there's so many, they're so just personal based, and they're not generic based. So they're, hey, we're going to send out this because this is the script that our team uses. And then people were like, well, I don't have that script. So then I'm on a Power Hour and I don't know. And it was a disaster. So this was something, and I'm not saying that all Power Hours are disasters, so please don't misquote me. But what I'm saying is that if you can't be on a Power Hour when your upline has one, can you still grow your business? And for me, and probably most of you guys, we know what to do in this business. We just simply don't do it. Because we don't have somebody that's saying, where's your report card? Where is your checklist that says you are moving your business or you're not moving your business? And so when I came up with these, I picked a few people on my team to do this and show me the results. They're honest results. Don't lie about it. You don't get to lie about it. You don't get to cheat the system. Either you showed up, sis, today, or you didn't show up today. Either you completed these tasks or you didn't complete the tasks. And so one of my favorite feedbacks is that I had a girl who joined me in January. This was her 4th time in the business, and not under any circumstance in the last 4 times, she had never passed 1,000 BB. Okay. Now you could look and say, oh gosh, that's her fault. It probably is. But if she had a simple system, do you think that she could have a little bit better success? Sure. So what's exciting was watching her hit out of these. So basically every day, it's Sunday through Saturday, it's 9, 10 tasks. Of course, if you're doing host to post, then you knock out a lot of these. I have a full training on it, and I have individual task training videos in case you don't understand exactly what one of these mean. You can watch those on a later time. But what I loved about this was that she started keeping track, and she was only completing on average about 2 to 4 of the 10 tasks. Okay. So we'd meet up on, the next week, and I would say, okay, on Monday, what'd you hit? And she said 0. On Tuesday, 4. On Wednesday, 5. On Thursday, 2. On Friday, 0. And it was an accountability for her to say, wow, I thought I was working my business. I wasn't. I'm just simply wasting time. And so she wasn't signing up any enrollments. And within 4 weeks of hitting between 5 out of the 10 tasks, between 5 and 10 tasks, 6 days a week, she started enrolling, and her enrolling started increasing. And you guys, this month, this same exact girl is shooting for Diamond and has far exceeded my enrollments, and has enrolled, I think today was her 7th distributor for the month, because she follows these task lists. And she's like, Amber, it's literally foolproof. If you can do this at minimum, this is the minimum we get to do for our business, and everyone has 30 to 60 minutes or less a day. Everyone does. But what's funny is a lot of us are doing what we like to do, which is make our coffee in the morning, or post about the opportunity, or if I just copy and paste enough posts, can I get enough customers and distributors? But what you're not seeing is that you don't get to do one of these tasks and not complete the circle. These are links that, if you can do all of them, will connect you. You want to enroll customers, but you're not posting about the products, but you want to sell sample cash, but you haven't even shared or engaged with anyone, or they don't even know that you can sell samples. And so another one recently was a triple diamond who hadn't completed her steps to success in over a year. And she got a hold of this, and she messaged me, or I messaged her, and I said, how are KPIs going? What are you liking about it? And she said, Amber, within 3 days of being consistent, I've made $40 in sample cash. I'm talking to over a few, I think she was like 3 loyal customers, and closing the deal on a distributor. 3 days, you guys. But the biggest feedback that I've gotten is the mom guilt of being on your phone all day long is gone, because that's not necessary. And that will, you're either avoiding something, or you're wasting time, or you're doing it so you can be right about how you're working your business, but not producing results. And this has allowed them so much more time to free up their time. And as a new distributor, if they're not producing results, I can come back to this and say, sis, why aren't you messaging 20 people about the opportunity every day? She didn't do it, right? Like, it's them. I can't do this work for you. And as an upline, we can only guide you. We can only give you the scripts. We can only give you the post, but we can't make you do the work or the glue to fit the circle, the links to finish the circle, right? So I'm going to challenge you guys to really dive into this and just give it an honest go. Another one that I just got today, which is so exciting. If I can read this to you guys real quick. Kelsey is doing a 4-week challenge with all her people going diamond, and they're going to do this. And there's an upline tracker as well to this. So as an upline, you can coach your team through this. And she said, let me see if it'll pull up, but she got feedback from somebody on her, let me see if I can get this to pull up. We'll see. I don't have much service. She's going to share it on there. But she said, I wanted to just tell you that I've locked arm with about 10 of my girls on my teams who all want to go diamond above. I'm using the 8-week period, KPI checklist, and tracking your results in a special accountability chat. I'll keep you updated on how this works. And then she sent me, oh, here it is. Okay. So this was a feedback from one of her girls that she's doing this with. And it says, the KPIs have honestly just been so helpful and so much easier, less stressful, and helps me get so much more done because it's unrealistic for me to be on my phone all day. So I set 1 to 2 hours every day, strictly for messaging, hosted posts, and I can do the rest throughout the day when I get more time here and there. Makes it so much more easier. I've been getting 6 to 7 out of the 10 done every day for a week and a half now, and I finally have a routine. I have been selling sample cash, and along with getting loyal customers. I drove 45 minutes to sell someone a sample, and they signed up the next day, and that was one of my $120 orders. My goal is this week is 9 loyal customers and 3 distributors. I'm so focused. Travian has also been coming home and giving me an hour of silence to do this business, which has been awesome, and it's only been a week and a half. So you guys, I'm telling you, like, if you need something new and exciting and just be like, okay, that's it. Like, I'm telling you, yes, this is it. This is the minimum. If you can do this 2 or 3 times, then fantastic. But the point is that you do it, and that you are accountable. You are the CEO. You're not waiting for Shelly or Debbie or Shelby to sit here and tell you guys what to do or run the power hours. This is you showing up as the CEO. And it allows you a better road for success in your business to see, was I working or was I just simply avoiding? So that's KPIs, you guys. It has completely changed everything for my business. I launched somebody asked on the VIP page, they were like, what's your system for launching new distributors? That, like, I want them teed up immediately. We follow a 30-60 minute daily task list. Do you have that extra time on your hands? If the answer is no, then be a customer. If the answer is yes, then sis, we have a simple system that we can teach you that as long as you do it, you'll produce results. And the faster that you can hit 9s and 10s out of this list, the faster you're going to see that result. If it's taking you 4 weeks to even hit 5 out of the 10 results and be consistent with it, well, then your success is just going to be a little bit slower. But if you guys can literally get on this and print it out and start using it, you're going to find that guilt of, I don't feel guilty when I go out to dinner with my girlfriends because I've done what's required. I don't feel guilty when I turn off my phone at night because I've done what's required. And so I think that guilt a lot of times keeps us in the pit and doesn't allow us to get out of that funk and keep going. So I'm excited to see the results on this.
Amber, I can't say thank you enough, because this is like, we have a task list, but it was one of those things that, holy smokes, it's taken me forever to do the task list. And how am I going to get somebody brand new? Like, I had these doubts too as an ambassador, you know, and somebody brand new that doesn't have a lot of time. And then we're trying to tell them, oh yeah, it only takes a little bit here and there. But this truly knocks it out 30 to 60 minutes. And
it's cool. It's just so freeing, you guys. Like, and I will tell you, in 2020, I have had more fun than I've ever had in 8 years. I've spent way less time on my phone. I have produced way better results. And like, we literally sold our home in April in the middle of this pandemic. And I was like, forget about it. I'm leaving the good for the great. Y'all can sit here and be in your crap. I'm fine with that. And now my husband and I get to travel wherever the heck we want. And so I move every few days. And people are like, I'm moving. I just can't work my business. Oh, come on, sis, please. Pack your stuff up every 4 or 5 days and move across the country with 2 kids, homeschool on purpose, and tell me you can't do this business. Like, yes, you can. And that, I mean, it's just so good.
I love it. I love it. Well, and I know Bobby Joe, I know I'm not expecting her to talk, but I know when her and I were talking, she's telling me that, oh my gosh, like, everybody is just taking action because of the task list. And, turning a diamond in a month, like, that's huge. That is huge. And people just be able to step in, know exactly what to do. I can remember for years, Amber and I shared this with you, that for years, all of us leaders are going, what are you sending new distributors? What are you giving them? What are you telling them to do? You know, this is perfect. And we are looking for CEOs. We are looking for CEOs, people that want to step up, do their own business. And that's what we got to speak. So I would love for you to touch a little bit more on that too, Amber, if we got some more time.
Oh, we got plenty of time.
Yeah.
You guys have questions too, just about life, business. I mean, we can just kick back. I wish we had a glass of wine. We could hang out. But any questions that you have too, please drop them in the chat and hopefully we can get to them. Shelly, sorry, what were you saying you wanted me to touch base on?
I just really want you to touch base about the importance of dreaming, what we think about, we bring about. Let's touch on that a little bit.
Yeah. So, oftentimes I wasn't raised a dreamer, you guys. I was raised in Flint, Michigan. I've worked full time since I was 14 years old. I'm the youngest of, I think there's 9 of us total. When there's that many, you just lose track. And I was never raised that there was more than enough. I was always raised with the mindset of, you can't have that. Where's your money for that? Oh, you think that rich people are bad people. Money does bad things to people. And so for me, that's how I was raised. And I'm sure many of us, most of us, it's very rare that we're raised with the mentality that you can have it all. And this is an abundant world and you can actually have anything, that more than you can even think or imagine. And so there's seasons where I've had to study leadership. And you do. Personal, professional development, you guys, hands down, it needs to be part of that daily task list. But we're keeping it super simple on there. And so that is something that if you know how to post, you know how to message, you know how to follow up, this mind is what you should be spending most of your time growing. And again, expanding that mind so that way once you do expand it, you can't go back. So there's been seasons where I've had to study a lot of leadership and personalities and how do I be, you know, talk to people nicer? How do I not hardest part of leadership is like what I want to say and what I have to say. And how do I learn the difference in that? And how do I be kind when you really want to be mean? And those kind of things. And so, and that's just me being real. Okay. Like there's so many times I'm gonna be like, I'm not talking to you. Like you are a waste of my time and you're so negative, but we get to, right? That's part of leadership. We want to grow those leaderships and we need to give grace. Then there's been times where most of the time last year, a lot of what I studied was money mindset. Is money bad? I'm terrified to lose it all again. I'm terrified to go back. I know what that's like. I don't ever want to go back. I don't ever want to go back to being a stylist. I loved my job. I thought that that was going to be my dream career. I was going to be on stage. I was going to be transforming lives that way. God had a different plan. And because I was open to that plan, I was able to see the windows of opportunity where this vision is placed in your mind. And I want you guys to think of that vision right now. Think of that thing that you want, that you're so scared to get, that you're so scared to even put out there, because what if it does happen? And I truly think that that's what scares us the most. And so I was studying money mindset last year, a lot of it, just books on money, the anomaly mindset, the illusion of money, happy money. I mean, there's so many books on money. And I had to learn to let go of the good. And that was, we built our dream home 4 years ago. It's a beautiful home. And it was this vision of let it go. And I was like, oh no. I built this dream home. Are you kidding me? Like, and we didn't build a dream home, you guys, outside of the budget. Okay. It was a very affordable home, but it was our dream home at that time. And it was, put it on the market. No thanks. Like I can travel the world and keep my house. No thanks. Right. And it was these feelings that it's like, I'm asking for this and I feel the pullback on this. Why am I not dreaming and letting go of the good so I can have the great? Because who am I scared to impress? Or who am I scared that if I change my lifestyle and I change my car to lower or lesser or bigger or smaller or let go of something, then what is it going to look like to everyone else? And I don't truly care. I owe 0 people an explanation. The only person I need to explain anything to is the calling that I have and where I'm going. And as should you. Okay. And so this new year, when it was prompted to let everything go that you've worked so hard for, I was terrified, you guys. There were so many times I'm like, Josh, forget about it. Let's just take the house off the market. Let's just travel if we want to travel. Let's just not go through the hiccups. Let's just settle. We're good right here. Like we are so good. We should just be grateful. And how dare us ask for any more? And that's simply not the case. And so when you guys can find that vision, what's that one thing that you're like, this would be so cool? Okay, so I'll share a couple of mine with you guys. And as you talk about them, people might think that you're crazy and stupid, but it's the beginning of what could actually happen. And if you don't start talking about it, you won't start doing about it. And if you don't start doing things towards it, it'll never happen. So one of the things that I want to do, and I've talked about this with my team for years, is I want to stand at a gas station one day and I want to pay for every single person's gas that comes in. Why? Because I remember the day when I can only put $5 in. Okay. That's something. Might sound stupid, might sound crazy, but I'm like, could you imagine literally like your bank is calling you because you're like, you've put in $10,000 worth of gas and everyone's cars today just simply because. Has anyone ever done that? I don't know. I haven't Googled it. I don't care about anyone else. I just care about the vision that's placed on my heart, right? Like, I don't want anyone to distract me of my vision and my goals. And another one is I want to be a secret millionaire. I want to go and donate $100,000 to somebody just because without them knowing who it is, right? We want to give back to our city in the rodeos. I love rodeos, you guys. I'm a little bit classy, extra bougie, and a little bit country. Okay. And I cuss a little bit and I still love Jesus. So we can all be friends if you fall into one of those categories. But you know, there's these dreams and there's these things that are like, that'd be cool. Cool. But if you don't go and start acting on it and start seeing it, okay. For instance, my brother, he went and bought property in Hawaii and I was like, oh my gosh, what if I bought property in Hawaii? Like, how cool would that be? Just because you can, just because you want to. And so, but have you even looked at the property? Do you even know what the market's like? Do you even know how much interest is? Do you know how much you're going to need to put down? What about that car? And maybe it's not things, you guys, maybe it's places. Okay. Recent one was the Wave. They let 10 people go a day. And we changed our whole trip to go to this place where they 20 years ago, they started a lottery for it and only 10 people a day get to go. And I was so clear on going, and every day that passed when we got declined and we didn't win and we didn't win and we didn't win, I kept praying. And I was like, God, you placed it on my heart. Show up, man, like show up. But you guys have to be willing to be tested. You have to be willing to say, I'm here for it. I trust the timing. I'm moving forward towards it. Are you going to fulfill? And so we were able to be one of those 10 people and go see the Wave with our kids the very last day that we were there. Okay. But you might think, man, she's just lucky. No, I'm just committed and I'm focused. And I know that I can control and I can inspire so many people, but ultimately, if you don't start dreaming those dreams and going and looking at the land, or, you know, at least for me, I'm like, I may not want a big house anymore. I might want multiple little ones. Is that bad? No, right? It's just whatever is going to fire you up and change you. Okay. But when there's change, there's challenges. And when there's challenges, there's pain. And there's also pits and there's falls, and you're going to hit them. It's just, you have to decide to stay focused on your goal and not look at a time frame and give up on that goal, but you have to keep moving forward with it. And so be willing to let go of the good for the great, you guys, and dream again. And the thing is why would I work hard? Why would I recruit? Why would I want to complete the KPI task list if I don't have a reason or what's next? And so what's that next for you? Does anyone want to share what their next is or what their crazy dream is? Can we like connect for a second? Is that cool? You guys can just unmute yourself if you want to chat. Nicole, I see you over there. It's so funny, you guys. People start to not make eye contact with me. It doesn't work. Like, I'm not a teacher, so I can see it, right? They're like, oh, don't call on me. It's cute. I'm not saying Nicole did that, but kind of. Okay, so this is Sally. This is cute. It says, I've been afraid to tell people that I stepped out on faith and left my job to work this business full time because I was like, they won't understand. You guys, you might inspire someone else that literally can't go get a job because their kids are now home for school, that they can do this too. You've got to talk about it. Okay.
Sally, I'm so proud of you.
Yes. Carly wants a new house. What does the house look like? Have you gone and checked the market? Do you travel? Josh and I do this thing called Parade of Homes. It's this tour here. And we're not even buying a house. Like, we for sure are full timing, at least for the rest of this year. But I want to know what the new houses are like. What's the trim like? What does the tile look like? What's the styles? Is that something I want? So you guys go and dream and be in it. You know, drive the car. Go test drive that car. My family of 5 is in a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom. That's how I was raised. There was 9 of us in a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom home. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Anyone want to share their dream or have a conversation?
Well, this is Sally.
Sally, hello.
Hi, Amber. My dream is to get a bigger house. We're currently pregnant and we've outgrown our current home. And I've been looking at homes, and yesterday I found a home, and then I got scared because I'm like, oh my God, this house is so much. Like, if somebody, like, it's like I felt like it was too grand for us. And then I started thinking, I'm like, well, why would I think that? Like, so now since hearing you speak, that makes me want to go and print out that house.
Do it.
And put it and put it where I can see it every day, so that I can go out and reach that goal. Because the baby's due at the end of the year, so I feel like I have enough time that we can do that by the end of the year.
Oh, for sure. And the thing is, you guys, is look at it as, you know, what's that? 10 fast starts a month will cover more than half of that. And so help 10 people. Like, and that's kind of the vision that we want to look is like, at what cost are we not, pursuing those dreams? But then how are you going to get it? You know, how are you going to get that extra $400 for a car payment? That was my why. When I started, my first car payment was $308. So I signed up 3 people, or I didn't drive my car. It was cut and dry. Right. And so, you know, and it may take pieces too. Maybe you're in an apartment and you want to go to a condo. Maybe you're in a condo and you want to go to a home. And maybe you're in a house and you want to, you know, do a 2-story. So allow the growth as well. And you know, it was interesting. I had one of my girls, it reminded me of you, Sally, who, you know, she's like, Amber, I want to move out of my house. She's 19 years old. And she's like, but no other 19-year-olds are out of their house or their parents are paying for it. And I said, if you don't start and go sign that contract, you won't go diamond. And she was like, you're telling me to go sign the contract on this apartment that's $1,200 a month. And I said, if that's what you want, yes. She goes, I want diamond. I said, then sign the damn contract. You guys, she signed the contract. That month she went diamond. The next month she could pay 3 months worth of rent. But if you don't make the move, I'm not saying go outside of your financial means at all by any means. I'm not saying go buy the Range Rover just because you want that, okay? Like, but allow yourself the process of leaping just a little bit, and then you're going to understand, okay, that wasn't that scary. Whew, I can do it again. Like, I didn't die, all right? And just keep going a little bit longer and more. And now she's looking at, she turns 20 on August 3rd, and I'm so excited for her. But now she's looking at purchasing a home in her dream destination in next year. But she's starting that dream process. And so if you don't grow, you will go backwards. But that means your vision has to grow as well. And what do you want? You know, and life isn't made to stay where you're at. If you're not growing, you're dying. And so constantly be looking forward to what's the next step for me? You don't need a big house. You don't need all the cars, but what is that one thing? Maybe you're like, you know what? I actually just want $100 left in my bank account by the end of the month. Maybe that's where you're at. That's where I was many times. But if I didn't recognize where I was at and where I was going, I wasn't going to continue to be excited about my business and share it with other people.
Amber, I want to touch on that because this, you guys, is so powerful. It is the most powerful thing for you to take that next step towards the task list. You need this first. Obviously, we got to take action, right? In our business, we got to do the tasks. We know we got to do those things to be able to bring in customers and distributors. But this here is the nuts and the bolts to your whole future. And I can't tell you how many times, I mean, Pam always telling you, go lick the leather. If it's a car, go lick the leather. If it's a place, if it's, you want to go donate, you want to go pump somebody's gas, whatever it is, visualize it, put yourself in that bubble and just really focus on it every single day. It is a proven fact when you do a dream board and you're focusing on it 2 to 3 minutes every single day. You're looking at that dream board, you're picturing yourself there. If it's a vacation, what else are you going to do on that vacation? Go talk to a vacation specialist and book your vacation. And do you want to go snorkeling? Do you break that vacation down? And then, like you heard Amber talking about, now break it down of, how am I going to do this? Is it 10 fast starts? Is it I need to get to diamond? Whatever it is, but that's how you got to start. And this is the biggest part. I love this part, and it's crazy that sometimes you lose your way of not focusing on that. And I'll never forget, and I just feel inspired to tell this story, and I know my team knows this story, but I was actually teaching a class at my house about dreaming. And we were all doing dream boards. And this is years ago. And I just went to the computer because I was running late and I didn't have my own dream board done. And I printed off a lake house. And I just printed like the first one that popped up. You guys, I put it on that dream board. We talked about dream boards. We sat down, did dream boards. And I feel ashamed to even admit this, but it got put into another room when I was remodeling my office. And I hadn't pulled that dream board back out. I had an assistant in here a year later, and she found it in the other closet. And she's like, oh my gosh, Shelly, look at your dream house that you put on your dream board. It's the place you have on the river now. It is identical. It was just a place. I didn't know where this place that I printed had, I didn't have an address to it. It just was a picture. And it wasn't even an elaborate place. But it literally was identical to the shape, the size. The only thing different was the stair step was on the opposite side of the house going to the river. Honest to God story. I mean, that just gives me goosebumps again. And it gives me goosebumps to dream again and to focus, you know? So, yeah. So, my dream, Amber, is I'm going to be on a lake again. I have been thinking about it, and I am born to be on the water. So,
I feel you.
yes.
I so feel you on that. I so feel you on that.
Yep.
You guys, and the thing is start looking, right? Like,
right.
and because you have to have something that's going to fuel you. And it's the same thing with nutrition. If I feel like crap, I'm going to perform like crap. And so if I don't have new vision and new fuel for me, why would I be excited about getting up 10 posts to post a day? Why would I be excited about sharing my story every day? Why would I be excited about, you know, I don't get excited about messaging ever, but it's required and it's part of the process. And what I like is getting somebody like Destiny that I'm signing up to say yes. But I had to go through 600 messages before she said yes. And so does doing the grit work excite me? No, come on. Like, it doesn't. Okay. But you got to work and put in that in order to have the reward. Josh is getting ready to share a really cool analogy. The guy is so brilliant, you guys, and his perspective on things is just like out of this world. And what he wrote is basically like a blog post, but it's about the weightlifter or the runner and how we get these burdens on us. And as we grow in a relationship, you know, we have, I'm not going to give it all away because I want you guys to definitely go read it when he's ready to post it. But basically, are you going to run when things get heavy, or are you going to fight? And are you going to do the reps every day? Are you going to put in the reps to create the weight, to create the strength to carry it when the load gets hard? And you have to grow into that double diamond leader. You have to grow into that ambassador leader. And again, part of that growing is dreaming and reminding yourself you are strong. And you are capable of more. You're just quitting when it gets hard, or you're just letting go of the weight when you have calluses on your hands. Callous your mind. Go and put in that work and get that mind to where nothing there's a book, I won't say it on here because it's a really naughty word, but there's a book that Pam Souter told me in one of the chapters. I'll say it in good English, but it basically, one of the chapters says, become unmesswithable, and you guys can fill in the blank with whatever word that is for you. And I was like, no, that's what I want to become, where nothing touches you and nothing affects you. Like you're so not calloused hard, but calloused strong. And I think there is a difference between being a complete brat and unemotionally there for people and just saying, you know what, I'm going to rise up above anything. And even the hardest times, and even when business isn't where you want it to be, that's because you aren't where you wanted to be. And so the book is great. It's called The Code of the Extraordinary Mind. It's an awesome book. I'd highly recommend it. And again, it's what is that tool that you need to grow in the business? Is it leadership? Is it money mindset? Is it, faith? For me, this year is a lot about faith. What is that piece of the puzzle that you're missing personally, and then run the tasks, and then run the dream, and then expect miracles, because they're there. You just haven't asked. You only don't have because you simply haven't asked. And sometimes asking is the most scariest part. Huh, Kelly?
Okay, teams, I want to hear some people stepping up, because if we don't know what your dreams are and what you're focusing on, we can't help you, right? So I want to hear some people just stepping up. Debbie Sasick, what are you dreaming for?
See, Shelly Hyde, I think we have the lake house together.
Yes.
Okay. We've always said we want to be neighbors.
That's right.
A lake house row, and we'll take out my RV and meet you on the road, Amber Parker.
Sister, yes, let's do it.
I love it. Absolutely.
Hey, the market's going to crash sometime soon, you know. Let's do it.
Debbie and I always say that we're going to be in the same retirement home.
Dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. Shelby, go ahead and say.
I was just going to say, so I've been in business now for like 9.5 years. So we've had a lot of opportunities to dream and then make those dreams happen. So it's been different trying to like redream after you get those dreams, you know? So we've had to go through that process of redreaming to find that excitement over and over again. Right now, this year, we've really been focusing on paying off debt, which, I mean, I feel like that's a huge relief to have just that weight of thousands of dollars taken off of your shoulders. So we've really done that, but we're paying off debt so that next year we are planning to go out on so many adventures with our kids and buy razors and toy haulers and things like that. Because our kids are older now. Like our youngest is 8. We're not tied down by nap times and all of that stuff. And we just want to go out and have fun with our family and have toys and invite our friends to come along and have fun with everyone. So that's where we're at right now, is just like wanting to enjoy time together. So yeah, and redreaming, and like we've had the house, we have cars, and we are redreaming for ourselves for sure. Does that make sense?
It so does, Shelby. And I want to say, wasn't it you that went out to buy a new car years ago and ended up coming home with 2?
Yes, that was me.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So my husband had just got home from deployment, and I needed a new car because the car that I had didn't have like doors that work great with car seats. And so I'm like, hey, let's go get me a new car. We pull up, we pick out my car, and as we're driving off we're about to drive off the lot, and he's like, well, I like that truck too. I'm like, well, then why don't you just get it? So we turned in both of our cars and drove off with 2 new cars.
You know, I will say too, you guys, is this is something else, Shelby, where we were, you know, why did I pull my kids from public school almost 3 years ago? I don't know. Now I know. And I'm not saying pull your kids from public school, you guys, at all by any means. But what I'm saying is that these kids need us more when they're older than they ever did when they were little. And I feel like we are more equipped now to be able to have those dreams and have those visions. And that's the only thing we can't take back is time. And so why aren't we spending more time with our kids? That's why we did this business, but then we use the business to not spend time with our kids, right? So I'm so excited for you. That I told our kids, I'm like, you guys have lived more in the last 10 weeks than I have in 10 years. Like, this is crazy, but you have to start that vision of what is it going to look like? You know, do you know where you're going to, what kind of toy haulers are there? What kind of razors are there? You know, it's that's what it gets you excited. And so I love that. I love that.
What is the document that you showed earlier? What is the
if
name
you go into documents in the eSuite, search daily, and it'll pull up daily 6 list. It's not a daily 6 list, obviously, but that's what it's filed under. So it's just the daily list. Yep. If you just search daily.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Debbie. Who else wants to share their dreams?
Hey, Shelly.
Hey, how are you? Ashley. You're such a rock star. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. So when she asked, you know, how long we've been in the business, and I think you know this, I've been in the business in total 5 years. I actually restarted like a total of 3 times. Because, you know, we fall off track, and then I just knew there was something here. Like, I needed to be here. I have a purpose in being here. So I'm happy to be back, of course. So my dream I typed in there was, you know, to definitely, you know, get out of this apartment and get us a house. My little guy's always like, Mom, I want a garage. Like, he wants us to have a garage, right? That we can pull into and we don't have to get wet. So I'm going to put that on my dream board. And then my dad's house, I think, is literally like falling apart. So if I could, you know, get the money to help him fix his house up, like that would be epic. So those are definitely things that I'm holding near and dear to my heart and praying and hoping that I can do one day.
So the best thing for that, Ashley, I have to say, is you have to go out shopping with your son. And you have to look for that home with the garage. And you have to dream together with him. Because he's not going to let you forget it. He's not going to let you just, you know, detour yourself. And when you have a vision of something and you've broke it down to know what that payment is, if it's renting or if it's, you got taxes and insurance, you've broke it all down so you know what you got going out. It makes it so much more real. And sometimes I'll never forget the time when we sat down with the realtor looking at a house and I just went, oh my gosh, we can afford this. Like, I didn't think I could afford it. Who am I to be able to have something that nice? Exactly what I thought, just like Sally was saying. But when they said the payment and all that, I was just like, holy, I can afford this. I can do this. So you have to put yourself inside that dream. A lot of you have heard me talk about that. And until I spoke with Amber, I wasn't physically capable of doing that. Yeah. Yesterday or 2 days ago? Like I lost it. And now I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah, I got a dream. I got to have fun again.
So good.
What's that, Amber?
It feels so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like it increases your obvious, like some kind of hormone to make you feel more confident. And that's why I love this KPI list, is because you feel like you've succeeded. And so then you show up a different person because you're like, I've won, man. Like I've done the work, and that allows you to dream. And I'm telling you guys, if you have babies, dream with them. Okay. Like show them what that's going to be like. One of my biggest fears was pulling my kids away from their friends. And when we were traveling, they were like, Mom, I think we've met more friends on the road than we ever had at home. And I was like, that's what's up. That's what's up, And so like Shelly's saying, take your kids with you, take them to that house, take them, drive them around the neighborhood and say, would you want a home like that? What about that? And we asked our kids, we're like, would you rather have a lot of tiny homes or one big home? And they were like, a big home. I'm like, of course you would. So it's not happening. But they're like, Mom, as long as we have a pool, we don't care what size the house is, because they had a pool last time, And so you just have to remind your kids that what we have is just temporary. And you guys, it's just simply things, but it's the memories that make it count. And it's taking those driveways with your kids and saying like, could you see, what do you want? What part of this do you want? Because unless you can look your babies in the eye and say, sorry, you just weren't worth it, I'd suggest you guys all pick it up and start dreaming a little bit bigger and finding the discipline and the focus to not go back to where your life was. And that's what holds me, is I never want to look at my babies and say, you know what, you just weren't worth me fighting. I just gave up on the dream of the family. It's okay. Like, you don't have to, have Mom be on her phone anymore. I gave up on that dream. Yeah, you want dance? That's fine. It's just not worth it for me to get up and do my daily task list today. I already know the other alternative. I know what it's like to get your light shut off. I know what it's like to eat ramen. I know what it's like to borrow money from Mom and Dad. I did it for years. And now for us to be in a position where you guys to be able to donate or give back every single month, we give back to a family, any family that's just on our hearts. And now being able to give back to my dad in a way that just, just like Ashley said, being able to just say, it's no big deal for me. Let me bless you. There's a really good book called Give and Take. If you guys struggle with somebody offering you something or even giving something, I know I struggle with it. I'm like, I can do it. I don't need your help. And that's a mentality that a lot of us have, but you guys were so much better together. And don't be a taker by not letting somebody give to you as well.
And Amber, one of my highlights from our call, you said to me, do you really want to go back to just being average? And as soon as you said that, I had literally chills up and down my spine. I got off the phone, I cried, and you said, you're not made for average. Mm-hmm. And neither are any of you. You're not made for average. We're made for so much more. This was put in front of us for a reason. So
we all have something extremely special, you guys. And what's coming, this vision, like I wish I could put it into words, but I just simply can't. But basically the conversation that I had the other day, this vision that was just placed on me, is that we have a calling, and we're getting ready to have one of the biggest momentums we've ever seen in 20 years. but your mind has to be right. And you have to get the dreaming right, because there's going to be a lot of people that are looking, aching, and willing to put in the work to have a glimpse of what you have and take off the stress this coming August, September, and into this following year. And if we are equipped with our minds and watch what we're seeing and speaking and hearing of on social media, or from friends or family, get ready for the biggest movement that we've ever had in 20 years come August. And that's just simply because now more than ever, people need this. They need that saving grace. They need that extra income. They need that community. They need to know that they're not alone, and they need to be here. And if you're not doing your job of growing and expanding your own mindset, then I hope you feel really good about taking an opportunity away from somebody else.
Amber, I want to hear you a little bit more about, because when you said you messaged 600 people, I don't really think people believed you.
Oh my God, I will show you. Literally, like, it is insane, you guys. Okay, so if you don't do host to post, I wasn't a fan for months. I felt the same way about expos though when I first started. So never say never, because you'll say I'll never do that, and then you realize, oh, that's actually really awesome and good. So basically what I do is I put up one host to post. We collaborate together collectively as a whole. If you want to participate in the host to post, and you guys can do this with your teams, it's $5 to $10 donation entry fees, and then whatever we have, we try and get a month ahead so we know what to plan for August. So let's say it's $500. I make a post usually on Sundays, because a lot of people are home on Sundays. Don't put it up on a Friday or a Saturday, because people are checked out. They're at the beaches, they're at the lakes, they're with their kids. So usually on Sundays, and then I will work that same post for about a week. And I just say, we're partnering, drop your birthday month below. Drop what time you see this. Drop your favorite Diet Coke, Dr. Pepper, Pepsi. It doesn't really matter what you post, okay? So you make a post, and then those comments are going to build up. Right now, I think I have over 100, and I've only gotten to like 60, and I've already messaged over 600 people. And so it's the compound effect. So, and you guys, just because I'm messaging 600 doesn't mean I'm getting 600 yeses. Okay. I get told no all the time, and that is fine. That's where you're going to get that callous, right? So basically what I do is I go through and I message them and I say, hey, in order to be entered, I just follow the normal corporate host to post script. In order to be entered, just put a post on your wall. No worries. No need to tag me. Just put up this post, and I give them a post that's about the opportunity, and they don't tag me. My name's not on there, and they make a post about the opportunity. From there, I have messages that I haven't even gotten to, because so this girl made the post, she had 14 comments. Out of those 14, 9 accepted my friend request and got the message. Out of those 9, 2 said no, and the rest said possibly. So about the opportunity. And I mean, that's one post, 1 out of the 62 people that have posted for me. 1. And so what we're doing is we're waiting for us to do all the legwork, when the legwork is there and it's really simple and easy. And one thing that I've heard from a few people is, I don't want to bug people. I hate it. I hate asking for favors. You guys, you're doing them a favor by entering them into Win Cash or a Louis Vuitton or whatever. We just keep it to cash. And so you have to turn this around as if you're also giving them a glimpse of what could possibly be for them. So one of the girls that made the post had 27 comments on it. And I reached out to her and I was like, why don't you just do this business? I can either make all the money from all these people that are commenting and excited about it, or you can. And she was like, okay, I'm in. I'd never talked to her about the business before, but she saw that her market was interested. And so then she jumped in. So, and again, if you're doing host to post, you're already completing most of those tasks just from host to post. So, and I don't worry if I don't get to all the messages today. I clock in and I clock out. It is very rare that I run like, oh my gosh, I got a message, I have to respond right away. No, guys, stop. In fact, it's more relatable when I say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I've been crazy busy as a mom. Sorry, it took me a day and a half. I just followed up with one from 12 weeks ago that I never messaged, that just slipped through the cracks. And I pretended like it was posted 12 minutes ago. I was like, hey, sorry about that. So busy, crazy. Versus your market saying, man, she's always on her phone. Man, she's always responding right away. Do you think that's relatable? No, they're like, I can't do that. I got 6 kids. How is she always on social media? How is she responding like that? I don't apologize. Like, I'm busy, man. Like, it takes time. And so if you guys aren't offering the opportunity, and that's kind of, I heard Joel and Steph say this the other day, like, if I get a customer, it's like genuinely an accident. Like, I always lead with the opportunity. If you are past your 30 days, 90% of your business should be focused on opportunity and expanding your markets and getting people. And that's for me right now. I know out of these 600 plus people that I'm talking to, okay, they may not come into the business for 6 months, 6 years, next 6 years. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to do the work, to trust the timing, to get the blessings. That's it. All I can control is my output. I can't control who signs up. All I can control is what my output is. And that's why following that daily task list is so much fun for me, because I feel like I've completed. I feel like I've already won. And so I'd rather take consistent enrollments versus mass enrollments. And I'd rather take 3 distributors than 80 customers, because 3 distributors will make you way more money than 80 customers. So lead with the opportunity.
I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Amber, thank you so much. I don't know, you got to go to another Zoom, don't you?
You have the new distributor Zoom about selling samples and a little bit of international coming up right now.
Yep, that's what I thought. Okay. I love you guys. We'll do another if you guys want, and answer questions if you have questions. If you have questions for Amber, shoot me a message or get back with your upline and they can get me the message, because we can definitely get them answered. So I love you guys.
On that list, you guys, I'm telling you, just start tonight. Just do it. Just dive in, watch those training videos. They're all on my YouTube. They're 3 to 6 minutes each. And it will literally, it'll be so exciting for you. And I want to know feedback too, where your enrollments have been and where they're going to be now, that you're doing this and you're launching your new distributors with it.
Awesome.
Thanks, Shelly, for having me on.
Thank you, Amber. So appreciate you. Love you guys.
Thank you, Amber. Thanks, Shelly. Awesome job.
Bye.